Blog Talk Radio.
Race fans, we got something special just for you. Listen in as Chris, Yellow Caution Flag Creighton, and Mr. CJ Sports are in the studio. The 110 Nation Race Chat Live exclusive, bringing you interviews from drivers, promoters, and crews of all types of racing. These are interviews you do not want to miss, so make sure you guys check it out. Well, thank everybody for tuning in to the 110 Nation Race Chat Live exclusive. Glad to be in the studio this Monday night. We got Luke, I want to say Morey, I hope I didn't check that up, joining us tonight. I'm going to change up things a little bit. We are going to we're going to have Chris kind of take reins tonight because this is a dirt modified driver. And if anybody knows anything about some dirt, that is Chris. Yellow Caution Flag Creighton, my co-host. Chris, how are you doing tonight?
All right, my friend. Glad to be here. You're giving me a little bit too much there, though, man. I've called quite a few races in my life, but, I'm going to tell you one thing. I was late to the game in dirt racing. My daddy, he took me to a racetrack when I was young, and as a matter of fact, he worked at the racetrack that I work at now. But I was too young to remember it, and I'm just lucky to be here, man. I've got about 10, 12 years under my belt now, and I tell you what, I might know a little bit about dirt racing. I found out one thing about the dirt: there's always somebody that knows a little bit more, been in it a lot longer. So we're gonna do our best to do a good interview here tonight. Mr. CJ Sports is glad to be in the 110 Nation studio here. It's a wild weekend. Of course, we was at Talladega yesterday to see Ryan Blaney take the checker flag, and we'll talk about that tomorrow night. But what you got going on there, Mr. CJ Sports?
One, definitely glad to be here as well. Two, I grew up in Ohio. I don't even know if there's a dirt track in Ohio, to be 100% honest with you. I grew up, my father was a kill.
Eldora is in Ohio, right?
Is it in Ohio or is it considered Indiana? Maybe it is Ohio. Maybe that is actually in the Ohio side. And we've tried going there a time or two. Every time that we have planned to go to Eldora, it has rained out. So I have not had luck with Eldora, but I guess you're right. I forgot Eldora is actually in Ohio. Spent 25 years in North Carolina. That's where I got to see all the dirt track racing that I've gotten to see. Fayetteville Motor Speedway, the Dublin Motor Speedway. There was another track that we went to. So I got some dirt experience while living in North Carolina, but spent most of my years on asphalt. So I've not gotten the experience, the lingo, even so much the know-how. So glad to kind of be a part of this and get to listen in and ask questions. There'll probably be some off-the-wall questions, but ask some questions as well.
Hold up, CJ Sports. Hold up now. You said you don't know the lingo, so you don't know. Do you know what a berm is?
No.
You don't know what a berm is. Okay. Do you know what digging the ditch means?
No. I do know. I'll tell you what I do know. That you work at the track that's called The Hook. That is Why Not Motorsports, one of the best damn tracks down south. That's the only thing I do know about dirt track racing.
You are exactly right. You know what? I'll just have to find that and give that to my boss right there. Let him hear about what a guy from Ohio thinks about Why Not Motorsports Park, man. I tell you what. All right, man, we got some big one planned in a couple of weeks. Just before the Eldora race, we'll be at the House of Hook, Why Not Motorsports Park for one of the last non-sanctioned humongous Super Late Model events, $12,000 Coors Light, 29th annual Coors Light Fall Classic. Being, these guys, they know a lot about. I know we're known for street stock racing and whatnot, but we're also known for super late model racing, and we've had guys like Jimmy Owens and Bloomquist and Davenport race with us before, and hopefully they're going to show up with us this week. We moved the date a week earlier, so hopefully we'll be able to bring in those guys and have us a big old throw down there at the House of Hook. I got to get you there so that you can see why we call it the House of Hook. I think that's a must-have situation there.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I would say there is a very high probability this next race season, next spring to summer, that'd be a high possibility sometime in the next race season, as we keep moving forward and things keep changing and my availability and everything going on keeps changing. So let's count on there being an appearance down there and get the experience of the Why Not Motorsport next year. Before we get our guests, Wednesday night, we got the 110 Nation Sports Show. We're going to be talking Friday Night Lights. I don't know about you, because you're
you know who I
guess football race season doesn't go all season long. So there is a possibility if you wanted some Friday Night Lights in your life, you could have it. But I know that local racetrack racing is more important to you than high school football. It's not that local racetracking is not as important to me. High school football is literally 2 minutes up the road. The closest track is 30 minutes up the road. And our football team once upon a time was state champs and is traditionally a good team. So I get to do Friday Night Lights. So we talk Friday Night Lights. Plus, Friday night, the track that is close to me does drag racing. I'm not a big drag race kind of guy. I've been to NHRA events. I've been to a couple other events. I'm more of the left turn concept. So Saturday nights out at Shady Bull in Columbus, Ohio is more of my forte, and we're hoping to get out there before the season ends. Also, Wednesday nights, we got Jay Spearman. For those that have been around the network for a hot minute, Jay Spearman has been around probably almost 10 years as well. He was around about the time Miss Lee first came around. He has been away. He has came on a time or two this season. He will be showing up in the studio this Wednesday night. We're going to talk about Damian Lillard going to the Milwaukee Bucks, rumors of Drew Holiday going to the Celtics, and other NBA news before we jump into the NFL on Wednesday night. So make sure you guys check us out for the 110 Nation Sports Show. Also, Thursday nights, you got Jared Hudson. Had two great guests on this last week. I am drawing a blank. I just seen both of them. I'm getting ready to pull that up. He had Derek Kane Long, and he also had Patrick Daniel. Make sure you guys check those shows out. But make sure you guys catch them on Thursday night. Safety to Success. He gets local drivers. He gets local vendors. He gets local track promoters and owners. Talk Safety. It's a phenomenal show. As a matter of fact, it is the highest rated show on our network, so make sure you guys check that out. Like us on Facebook, the 110 Nation Sports, Race Chat Live, my personal fan page, Mr. CJ Sports, Chris Yellow Caution Flag Creighton. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter at the 110 Nation. But most importantly, make sure you guys follow us on, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network, as we got a lot of videos over there. We do a weekly video, which I'm working on editing, things that go on behind the scene. We have all our shows, the full-length shows. Then I also break down clips of every show. So not only do I listen to every show at least once, 99% of the time I listen to every show twice, and even almost as same high percentage, I listen to each show a third time, as I am trying to get down to the exact time and conversation to break these clips up. I can tell you just about everything about every show right now, but I do break those down into different topics so you guys can catch just different clips so you don't have to watch the entire show if you do not choose to. But those are over there as well, and amongst other shorts, other YouTube videos, everything else. It's important to us for you to subscribe over there because everything we do comes out of our pocket. We're hoping to eventually get enough subscribers over there that we can finally monetize things and help ease the cost of things, help with the upgrades, help with bringing more shows, more product, more stuff going on. Kind of get where I'm going with this. So make sure you do us a favor and go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Guess it's still not in there, Chris. You got anything else you want to throw out there as we?
Yeah, I'm gonna back you up on something. We don't come on here begging for money. You know what I mean? We don't, and we do our shows, and we act like we got more sponsorships than anybody. But you know, if somebody wanted to donate money to the cause, how could they go about doing it? Because we've never even offered an offering plate. We're not Baptist.
If you are just interested in donating, you can just hit me up, MrCJSports@gmail.com. I will set you up with the Cash App, Venmo, Facebook Pay, Facebook Pay, whatever, if you just wanted to.
Yeah.
But on a more serious note, if you are out there and you are a company and you want to become a marketing partner, trust me, believe me, I will not lie to you. We can come up with a plan for any and everybody. We are on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Blog Talk Radio, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Podchasers, GeoSavion, YouTube, pretty much any platform, we're on there. So if you're out there and you have a company and you want to get your company out there even more across all platforms, just hit me up, MrCJSports@gmail.com. I promise you we will come up with something. If it's just you give us product to give away, we come up with some kind of financial plan. If we come up with something, you put me on your billboard or your company stuff, and I put you on mine. I guarantee we can come up with something for everybody.
That's right.
But if you just want to help out and you want to hook us up, I don't care if you don't ever send us any money. Just go to the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network on YouTube and subscribe. Right. It is free 99. It don't cost you nothing. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button. That's it.
Just subscribe.
That's it. It'd be nice if you listen to a show or two here and there, but I'm not even asking for that. Just go subscribe.
Hey, you know what? The little short clips that you put together and all, it's absolutely amazing. Like, I understand. Sometimes 2-hour topics and 2-hour discussions are too much for people. But if you listen to our little clips and our little short clips, you'll see, hey, you know what? We're quite entertaining at times. And if you think we're dumb, well, we may be dumb too. But, I mean, it is what it is. But I have a good time, and we have a great team that, devotes their time and dedication and volunteer and we have a network and we have room to grow, don't we, Mr. CJ Sports?
We do. And you brought up a couple very interesting points. One, since you brought that last point, it makes me stick in my head a little bit more. If you're interested in joining the 110 Nation, especially show-wise, if you already have a show and you're doing it on a platform or already doing it on Blog Talk Radio or Spreaker or wherever you may be doing it, and you just want somewhere to syndicate your show. In other words, you want to, hey, look, this is my show. Will you play it on your network? Will you distribute across your listeners? Not only would they hear it on Blog Talk Radio, but they would hear your show on YouTube, on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Or maybe you want to do a show or you've been doing a show, and either A, if you've not done a show and didn't know how to do it, or B, you've been doing a show and financially you're just not in a place to continue to keep paying for a paid program or a paid plan. And for those that have ever used a free plan, You usually don't get a lot with the whole free plan. You could do the free plan, but I know like Blog Talk Radio, you only get like 15 minutes is all you even get for a free plan on Blog Talk Radio, if they even still offer the free plan. If those are either one of those are your situations, all you got to do is hit me up, MrCJSports@gmail.com. We would love to either syndicate your show or even let you do your show on our network across all our platforms to help you grow, to help us continue to grow as well. So looking forward to trying to find out. We're in talks with somebody. Hopefully we got a Sunday show, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, if you're looking to there was something else I was going to say. There was two parts to what you were talking about, and I done forgot. I've been trying to think as I've been talking this whole time, trying to think what the other part of what you said.
I love to ramble. I don't know.
Oh, God. Would you?
Come on. You got it. Maybe not.
Maybe not. But anyway, if you want to join the 110 Nation, all you got to do is hit me at MrCJSports@gmail.com. Or if you want to come on the show, if you're listening to the show, you're an athlete, driver, and when I say that, because I feel bad every time I say that. And the way I say it, and I'm not trying to say that drivers are not athletes. I have been doing this for 12 years. I know well enough that drivers are athletes, and honestly, in a lot of sports, they're more athletic, even though they're just sitting in the car all afternoon, than some of these other athletes in other sports. But anyway, I just say that, and just so you know, if you're out there listening and you want to come on to one of our shows, it could be a driver or you could be a football player, you could be a baseball player, so that's just why I say drivers and athletes. But I don't want anybody to take that, and I feel bad every time I say it in a way that I don't think that drivers are not athletes, because they are probably some of the most physically intense athletes out there for what they put their body through, the 100 and some odd degree temperatures for hours on end in a car that has no air, no nothing, and feeling the heat coming off every component inside that car, the engine, the transmission, everything. But if you're interested to come on the show, all you got to do is hit me up, MrCJSports@gmail.com as well. And I still can't think what the other thing was, so go ahead.
Now, you said that you went and seen the movie, right, Gran Turismo?
I went to go see it, and come to find out, I bought tickets for the wrong movie theater that was forever away, and the movie theater we was at did not show it, but we came home, we rented it on Amazon Prime. So I eventually did see it. And you are right, that is a very good movie.
Yes, it was. What was your favorite part about it? What did you learn from it? Why was it entertaining? If it was to be put on the Taj Mahal of racing movies, where would it be ranked and what next to what?
No, I'm an old school guy. I like my Days of Thunder. I like my six-pack.
I'm a six-pack fan. I'm a Stroker 8 fan. Yeah. I'm a Days of Thunder fan.
It was a great movie. I know there was definitely a part that I was laughing, and I cannot think about why I was laughing. Unfortunately with Hollywood, the picture they kind of painted was a little bit smoother than I'm sure it really was. The fortunate side is I'm a fan of racing, and I've had enough drivers on our shows to know that, yes, these simulators, this iRacing stuff really does help. Because it's hard to sit there and watch a movie and you're like, man, there's no way. Unless you've lived a life to know that, okay, what he did and how, the whole simulator helped him be able to be a driver, yes, it can happen. Because being NASCAR fans and racing fans, we have all seen it. But if you're not a NASCAR fan or a real diehard racing fan, you would not believe the storyline behind this, because you won't tell me someone's going to play some video game and then go out and race a car at 200, 300 miles an hour. Come on, man, you ain't no way. You got your damn mind.
Right.
But the fact that it is real.
Hold on now. Mr. DJ, hold on. Take it like this. If your kid was good at MLB 2K 2023, do you really honestly think that your kid could hit a fastball in Major League Baseball? I think not.
No. Fortunately for NASCAR, and fortunately for kids like the main character or the characters in this movie, they were able to create, as long as you had the money to dump into making your own simulator at home and everything, they are able to make games for that particular sport that can be realistic enough that they can actually use that to help them become a better racer. Now, the rest of the sports, I don't see the same transition. I don't see you be able to hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball in some kind of simulator. It's just not the same. And who knows? They could improve it to a point that you have virtual batting cages, and then hell, they maybe even have virtual batting cages. But at home, at home though, it's more realistic to have a racing simulator than it is to have a virtual reality batting cage in your house somewhere. So it's a little more feasible to see these kids be able to do this in the racing field versus the baseball field. I was glad that old dude. I was glad that the main. I don't know if he's the main character. The old man. I'm not gonna say he was really even old, 'cause he's not that old. But the head tech, the engineer, whatever his name is. What else have I seen him in? I know his face looks so familiar, but I cannot picture what I've seen him in.
I swear my wife and I are still lost in that one. I'm glad you brought it up. Let me look it up real quick while you talk about it. I'm going to find out real quick. Because my wife and I both were wondering the same question.
I really liked his character. He would just say, I don't know, just his whole character the whole time. I liked it. I liked the whole story. I was not a fan. I was glad that the way the story went, and it's supposed to be based off a true story, how he actually said the right name. I was really worried that they were going to pick that other guy was going to weasel him into picking the other guy, the guy that didn't actually win the race, because they felt he was more approachable. And I think that part of the movie stuck out a lot to me, where they were talking about the media and talking about the interview. And before I continue on, it's not that we're ignoring the studios and everything else. I am sure somewhere, especially since the show was scheduled 2 or 3 weeks out, there was probably a miscommunication because Luke is not called in. So I'm going to reach out to Miss Lee, and we'll reschedule. Chris and I will probably talk for another 5 or 10 minutes. We just wanted to, at this point, just go ahead and fill the whole show up so that we actually had a show tonight, and which is great content. But
so I have a list of
where was that?
movies. I have a list of movies that David Harbour has played in, and you'll probably find this one to be the one. He played in Suicide Squad. He also played in A Walk Amongst Tombstones, Revolutionary Road, Quantum of Solace, War of the Worlds, Awake, W.E., Black Mass, Sheepless.
No,
Sleepless. No. Yeah, okay. Portrayal of Jim Harper in Stranger Things.
No.
And Santa Claus in Violent Night. That's where we know him from. I just went to see Violent Night. Of course that's him. No wonder we knew who he was, because he was in, but yeah, Violent. Hey, outside of Die Hard, new favorite Christmas movie. a 10 out of a 10. You got blood, gore, comedy, fairy tale. I mean, Santa Claus is knocking people off. Have you seen Violent Night?
I don't know if I have or haven't.
All right, well, you need to see it. It's a really good movie. He plays Santa Claus with an attitude. Santa Claus used to be well, I think I've gotten in trouble for this before, for being a samurai. No. You know
on that movie,
the crew chief.
Do what?
From the crew chief from the movie. It was from Violent Night. The guy that we was wondering, we've seen him and play in another movie, Violent Night, the Christmas movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Speaking of the movie, I did like how they brought all three back for the Le Mans. Now, call me stupid, but I thought Le Mans was always ran. The 24 Hours of Le Mans was always ran at Daytona. What is ran at Daytona? Because I know that was not Daytona that they showed that movie. So
no,
it's the 24 Hours.
Yeah, Le Mans
what's that Daytona?
It's a completely different racetrack. The Rolex 24 Hours.
Oh, okay. That's where I got confused. I was like, I know this is not Daytona, but I did like how they brought all three of them back together for that race. I thought that was an interesting twist. Obviously, it's based on a true story, so I'm assuming that happened. But I like how that happened, and they brought all three of those back and had a three-man iRacing team. What was your favorite parts of that movie?
Oh, it was definitely the crash site where he basically was like, look, you know, I gave up on my...
Oh, we lost Chris. He hung up on me. Go back. While we're waiting for Chris to come back, because we're only going to have a few minutes left, make sure that you guys check out Race Chat Live tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. The 110 Nation Sports Show Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. And then Safety to Success Thursday night, 8 o'clock. All great shows. All of them you can be listened to live right here on Blog Talk Radio, and all of them get syndicated over to Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Google Podchasers, YouTube, Amazon. Excuse me, really anywhere you listen to your podcast. Also, you guys can catch our shows, our blogs, our marketing partners, our show schedules, everything going on at the 110 Nation over at www.the110nationsportsradionetwork.com. I thought Chris was coming back. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. I can't stress that enough, to help us continue to grow, to help us to hopefully monetize and ease the cost of everything we're doing, between all the platforms and the domains and the hosting and the websites and everything that we got going on. It's not that we're going to stop doing this. We've been doing this for 12 years. We're not going anywhere. Financially, we're in a place that one way or another, I'll find a way to make sure that we stay on the air and we keep doing what we're doing. But it would be nice to have a little ease and get monetized to a point where we can do some upgrades, giveaways, a whole bunch of different things. Even get to a point that we can afford to pay for some staff members here. So make sure you guys subscribe. Looks like Chris is not making it back. I was going to ask him, because the at one part of the movie, the actual car comes up over, I don't know if it came over a hill, and the car just kind of lifts up in the air, and like it's a crazy wreck. It takes the main driver character out of off the track for a while. I was going to talk to him about that for a second. But it looks like no more Chris tonight, so we're going to go ahead and get wrapped up. You guys can like us on Facebook, the 110 Nation Sports. You guys can follow us on Twitter at 110 Nation. Instagram, _110 _nation. I almost screwed that up. Let me look on my phone. Do I have anything else? We already talked about YouTube. We talked about the website. We talked about all the platforms. We talked about, I think we got it all. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, I think we good. Like I said, tomorrow night, Taz, Miss Lee, Chris will be in your studio. They will be bringing you guys recap of last weekend's race at Talladega, getting you guys ready for next weekend's race. Wednesday night, like I said, I'll be back in the studio. We got Friday Night Lights. We're going to talk about the Notre Dame quarterback. If you guys don't know, you definitely want to tune in. Probably one of the most class act gestures and people that we've ever got the opportunity to see on the field. Passing yards, NFL, and Jay Spearman, who's been part of the 110 Nation going on around 10 years at this point. We're going to bring him on about 8:20. We're going to talk about 20, 25 minutes. We're going to talk about NBA. We're going to talk about Damian Lillard going to the Milwaukee Bucks. We're going to talk about the rumors of Drew Holiday going to the Celtics, amongst other things that have happened since the end of the season, since last time we had Jay Spearman on the show. You guys have a great night. Until next time.